Hey guys, in today's video I'll be doing another tropical update. So first we're going to be looking at the ocean analysis of how the sea surface temperatures are going in the Atlantic and Pacific. First we're going to check on the Enso region. And as of the latest advisory on it this morning, the 060 run today, it's once again back at perfectly neutral, negative 0.0. So, this will kind of just stay around, I guess, perfectly neutral for another few days until the Kelvin wave fully moves out of this area, and then it'll start to decline, I would think, afterwards, once that sinking air comes through and it doesn't, and it makes this decline, makes the Pacific go quiet. Really, it's not. Let's look at the actual temperatures here. You can see in the Enso region, it's pretty cool in this region, but it's warmer over here, so that's why it's kind of more in a perfectly neutral type Enso right now. And then, though, the waters for the East Pacific, where we've seen all these disturbances try and form, the waters are very warm there, and so is most of the Atlantic, the East Coast, the Gulf, the Caribbean. And the MDR is still continuing to warm a lot. Let's actually zoom in on that so you guys can get a better look. And let's zoom in. There you go. You can see that now. Even past the Gulf Stream here, the Gulf Stream goes like from here up against pretty much the coast of the southeast and then out into the central Atlantic here. But even north of there for the northeast New England coast, especially southern coast up into the coast of Connecticut, Rhode Island, the waters are still around 70 degrees Fahrenheit, so really, like, the tropical systems won't really weaken all that much, honestly, going from the 80 plus degree waters to these waters, just because it's not much of a difference in temperature. It's only gonna get warmer in really all of these areas. You can see even here it's starting to really warm, getting farther east in the MDR region, starting to get more 25, 26 degrees Celsius waters here. So, it's just going to keep on warming. You can see especially the Western Pacific, the subtropics near the Florida, the Bahamas, getting towards 30 degrees Celsius, which is pretty much almost 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's going to be a crazy place if systems come through here. I'm sure, for sure, that we're going to see systems come through the Caribbean, through the Western Caribbean into the Gulf, and we'll most likely see systems coming up the East Coast. So a bunch of systems will get really close to this area, and so we'll just see it all. We'll see a bunch of these systems explode. Actually, just before I show you the forecast models, update you guys on this system for Monday, I want to say that my forecast for during the peak of the season, from the first day of August through the end of September, because that's really just now, especially within these past few years, that's really where we see the majority of the activity, since that is the peak, especially from the beginning of August through middle of September. That's really the most typical peak of the season. I'm expecting that from now through the 1st of August, we'll see another 3 named storms. We'll see Edouard, Faye, and Gonzalo. And then Hannah will form in very early August. And I think for August, we'll see the H, I, J, K, L, and M names. So we'll see 6 names in August. Just because I think the pattern will eventually set up perfectly. We just got to give it another couple weeks, 2-3 weeks probably. And have that Enso region cool back down a bit. But I think August is going to be pretty active. In the September, I think we're going to see the NOP, QRST, and V names. So we'll see another, what is that? Another 8 names. Another 8 names or so in September. So I think we'll have an additional 14 named storms between the first day of August through the end of September, which will pretty much close out the actual list we use. So I think we're definitely going to be getting into the Greek alphabet going into October as of right now. We'll just have to see how it really goes, but that's my thoughts for that time frame right now and going through the end of the season, really. Going into the end of the season. from now through then. So yeah, now let's look at the forecast models for the system that looks to form around Monday. This is the regular GFS model. I'll also show you the newer version in a second after I show you this one, and you can see we move forward through Friday into Saturday, Sunday, and going to Monday. There's that spin of the precipitation, comes off the coast. And, well, this is the farthest it goes out. But you can see right there's the low right there, just onshore of Florida, but getting very close there to the Atlantic coast, the Atlantic waters. So it's at 1,005 millibars there. So, the regular GFS, it's still showing the system. And it's showing it a little bit more kind of defined than it has over the past few runs through through the past day or so. So let's compare that to its newer version, the GFS Para, and we bring this forward. This is still the 00Z run, so it's still kind of delayed, but still we have a run for today, and you can see we gotta wait for its update. It's not really showing it yet, but we'll see what it shows for the 6Z. But the regular GFS that we're really trusting right now, it's showing it still a little bit better than it has before. Let's look at the CMC for its run. The 12Z for the CMC is actually just coming out now. So let's bring this forward, see if we can get it to at least show the system. Yeah, I guess there it is. Showing it very weak, though. We're going towards Monday, Tuesday. Only 1,014 millibars compared to 1,005 millibars by the GFS. But I guess it's still showing it, and we'll see how it keeps showing it, see what it shows for the system to an extent-wise over the next few days, see how that goes. And I'll tell you, the vorticity between the two models right now, the GFS and CMC, for this system, they're pretty different. The GFS will have it a lot tighter and a lot better formed with the vorticity, and the CMC will be a lot more disorganized. I'll show you the winds though. Yeah, you can see the CMC doesn't really show much wind for it. But the GFS, let's bring this back. Bring it forward through time, getting towards Monday. You can see the winds really pick up, and it gets more towards like 40 to 52 knots maybe, especially here. It gets kind of a little bit going towards 46 to 52 knots, maybe more like 50 knots. But yeah, you can see that GFS has it better defined and has it showing better chances of it happening. Now I'll show you what the European model is showing for it compared to the other two models. Let's bring it forward in time. This is still the 00Z run. The 12Z run for the Euro hasn't still come out yet, but should come out soon. But yeah, this is its run for it now. So let's bring it forward through time. Oh God, what is going on? Bring it forward through time, and you can see there's that precipitation down there for around Florida, southern Georgia, southern Alabama, and well, that's interesting. It doesn't really show the system at all. It just has a bunch of... Oh, it actually shows it a little later, in fact. That's very interesting. Shows it really forming more towards... showing it more forming towards next Wednesday. So a couple days later, 2 days later, and then shows it actually strengthening a good bit since it's forming near the coast and pretty close to the Gulf Stream waters. Shows it strengthening down to like 998 millibars, 997 before it really gets kind of more entangled into this northern system with its southern part of its frontal boundary. But yeah, the Euro's showing it the strongest right now still, getting down below 1,000 millibars. And I have to now I'm agreeing. I gotta say, I'm agreeing with kind of more the European now with what it's showing for it. I think it will the strongest the system will get will be between 990 millibars and 1,000 millibars. Originally, I thought it'd be closer to 990, but maybe it'll be more towards 995. Well, I mean, we'll just have to see how it trends, though. All these models will trend still over the next few days, since it's still, Thursday. We got to see. We'll really know what the models fully think, what the true outcome will be. We won't really know that till like Saturday, probably. So we got to still wait a couple days to really see how the models iron things out for the system, see what they think it'll really be like. But I can show you what the Euro is showing for winds, at the least. So, yeah, let's get rid of this so you can see it better. Bring it forward in time. Going farther out to getting towards Wednesday now. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can see there's that system. Winds really blow up, getting it towards around 40 knots. And you can see it continues to strengthen more towards maybe 45 to 50 knots. So, it shows it getting towards like maybe up to 55 miles per hour or so. It shows it definitely becoming at least maybe towards a moderate tropical storm, which I think is pretty realistic, in all honesty, for this system at the most right now. For what I'm thinking, I think it will, at the most, as of right now, be a moderate tropical storm. I don't think it will become a strong or tropical storm or even get to a hurricane. Of course, our first hurricane, really getting our hurricanes for this season, we got to wait still till like the end of July, getting towards the end of July into August. But once we get to that time, though, I really think the activity will explode. So we'll see tons of systems become hurricanes and even major hurricanes. So, the activity will really pick up once we get to that time. We'll see those systems really form and get better defined and all of that. Just for the last, quickly round things out for this video, I'll just show you the Wikipedia page for this year's hurricane season, 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. Again, we've already had our first 4 named storms. Total deaths is 5. There was 1 death attributed to Bertha and the other 4 to Cristobal. And then Dolly formed, but that was a fish storm just off the East Coast. The total damage as of right now is above $543 million. Most of the damage was caused by Cristobal, caused $343 million in damage, and Bertha caused above $200 million in damage. So you just add those together, and really that's what you get, above $543 million in damage. So we're already nearing the $1 billion mark already, even though we've only had our first 4 named systems. But again, I think Edouard, Faye, Gonzalo will finish out this first column of names by the end of July, and then we'll start the second column and really crank a bunch of names out between the first day of August and the last day of September. We'll have the HIJKLMNOPRS. Actually, hold on, let me count now. So I'm thinking we'll have the HIJKLM named storms all in August. We'll have 6 named storms in August, and then getting to September, we'll have NOPRS, T, V, and W. So we'll finish out the list, the actual list we use by the end of September, and then getting to October, I think we could start to head into the Greek alphabet. Of course, we'll see how that goes, see what the tropics trend to with the way the Enso goes and everything, but I think that is kind of realistic for right now, but we'll just have to see. And I'll have to see how my official forecast goes with it, because right now I'm calling for 20 named storms, 11 hurricanes, and 7 major hurricanes for the whole season. But if by mid-August we see a total of like 10 named storms or a little more than that, I might have to really up my total named storms forecast. But I think I'll just keep the total hurricanes and total major hurricanes forecast the same. But yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please, if you are just checking out this channel for the first time and this is your first video, please consider subscribing. I'm almost to 60 subscribers. Just need 1 more to reach 60 subscribers. You know, I really hope you subscribe if you want to. I really hope you enjoyed these kinds of videos. I do tons of weather content, so you'll see a ton of that on here. If you really like weather and weather content, you'll get a ton of that on here. So please consider subscribing if you do like that, and like and comment below if you are already subscribed. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.